Hey guys, and welcome to Tnashi's Movie Corner. And today we will be doing a versus between Big Hero 6 and Atlantis. Now, this is part of the animated tournament in which my brother and I have been going through and was inspired by the AMC Animated Madness tournament that they did. So, for these two movies, we decide by main character, plot, side characters, songs, humor, villain, cast, romance, memorability, themes, and action. So let's start this off here. We're going to get into main character. And for main character, we went with Atlantis. It was Milo versus Hero. And we just decided that Milo was the better main character. For one, he's very likable. He's a bit of a nerd, a bit of a dork, and that's really cool because he kind of he becomes the hero in this movie. So that's really cool, and that kind of does match Hero a little bit because Hero's also a nerd, but Hero's presented as being an already cool character. I kind of like the fact that Milo's a little socially awkward here, but aside from that, Milo has quite the likable personality. He's funny. He's got his own little charm to him and everything, but what he's willing to go through to try to prove for his grandpa that Atlantis does exist, because his grandpa died a broken man. His grandpa died knowing this place exists but not able to prove it. And Milo's been following in the footsteps. And Milo, he, leaves his job. He kind of puts his career in jeopardy and puts his name on the line there to try to prove that this place exists for his grandpa, to prove that his grandpa was right. And then when he gets there and circumstances change and you have him, dealing, basically presented a choice whether to go back with these people that are stealing the life supply, power supply for Atlantis, or to stand up for these people, which he doesn't know. He decides to stand with the people of Atlantis because he knows that they're right. That it's not that they're right, but that it's the right thing to do. So I think his character's really strong in that way, and Hero has to kind of be pulled out of his kind of baggage by his friends. So I feel like Milo's the stronger one because of that. Because Milo, he knows what the odds are that he's going up against, and yet he still does it. He still puts his life on the line and everything for what he believes in. He still, he's willing to leave a career behind and to kind of become a laughingstock in a way in order to prove that his grandpa, who he loves, was correct and wasn't crazy. And there's a lot to take away from that. So, plot we also gave to Atlantis. Big Hero 6 is, you have more of Hero trying to figure out who killed his brother and getting revenge on that person. And then you have his friends kind of tagging along for that. You have Baymax. Atlantis is not just about finding Atlantis, but there's the whole thing with finding this power source of Atlantis and then saving Atlantis from it. And I feel like that plays out better. So, side characters we also gave to Atlantis. The side characters for Big Hero 6, you don't really know much about them. You get a little bit of their personality, but you really don't know what drives them or anything like that. They're just kind of there. Atlantis, you get all their backstories so you know where they are, and the point that they are when they're introduced to you, and you find out what they've been up to the whole time. Then they change their perspective on why they change their stance on what they were you know, going for because of Milo, and I think that was really good. So, songs we gave to Big Hero 6, reasonably, both of them only have one song. Atlantis' song is during the credits, and it doesn't really stand out to me. I don't even remember it. And it's at the credits, so it's not as significant to the story. Whereas Big Hero 6, the song occurs, in the middle of the story. So at least it has some significance there. Humor we also gave to Big Hero 6. I think Atlantis has a lot of humor. Big Hero 6 is more open about it, where Atlantis is more subtle and many times. And Atlantis has more chuckles than it does actual laughter, whereas Big Hero 6 has quite a bit more of laugh out loud moments, so I think that works better. The villain we gave to Atlantis, as an adult, I know I can see the villain in Atlantis coming from a mile away, but as a kid you might not be able to distinguish that, so it's a little, it can be a little surprising on him, and you get why he's doing what he's doing. He has a bit of a likable personality, presence, and everything. So there's all that. Big Hero 6, the villain's kind of all over the place because you could understand his motives, but I can't wrap my head around what lengths he's willing to go to, and the fact that he didn't care when another character died. That's a character that was close to him. So that doesn't make any sense to me, and I think he's weaker because of that. Cast we gave to Big Hero 6, BMX would be a very hard voice to replace, and I think he's kind of the standout here on that. And there's a few of the friends' voices that are also very unique to their character, so I think cast goes there. Romance goes to Atlantis because of Milo and Kita, and it's the only movie of the two that has it, so. Memorability also goes to Atlantis because you have the opening scene where the city's being pulled underwater and everything, and it's a really great scene. And there's a scene later on where Kita's walking across water to these giant pillars with the faces of the old chiefs, and then this light shines down on her and she's pulled up into it. And I think that was really good. There's also an underwater battle sequence, and there's the final fight sequence, which all look really good and very memorable, and I think they stand out more than some of the ones in Big Hero 6, such as the moment where Hero is upset and he's confiding in Baymax, and he's trying to take a chip out and put a fighting chip in. So, I don't want to go into detail on it, but pretty much that. Themes went to Big Hero 6 because it's all about kind of moving on and, friends kind of coming together and being supportive and all that. And just the feeling of loss and how to deal with that and growing up a little bit. And it also has a little moment with kind of how being smart, being a nerd is a cool thing. So that's not bad. And then the action went to Big Hero 6 because they both have action. Atlantis is more story focused, so the action takes a little longer to get there. Big Hero 6 is more of a comic book type movie. It makes sense. So the action's more present, a lot quicker, and it is done really well. Anyway, so that wraps up that. For those of you keeping score, we have Big Hero 6 at 5, and Atlantis is at 6. So at 1 point, Atlantis wins it. But that'll do it for this matchup, and hopefully you guys enjoy this and have been watching my other matchups, and I'll continue to bring them to you here. We're still in round 1. I can't believe that. These discussions actually take quite a while. So, but in any case, if you enjoyed this vid, please like and comment. Did you think that Atlantis would win? Do you think Big Hero 6 should win? Are there any matchups you want to see in the future?